So how are you doing today, Ross?
I'm good. We're snowed in New York.
So starting things off, why don't you give me the current status of your vocalist Patrick, who was seriously injured in an automobile accident earlier this month in Germany. I know everyone's thoughts and prayers have been with him. How's he recovering?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for the thoughts and prayers. It was very nice. But the thing is, he's a very lucky boy. What happened was just lost control. I mean, he wasn't speeding, he wasn't drinking. He was early morning. He just black ice on the autobahn, and was just it was a wreck. And the thing is, he just had some broken ribs, and the spleen was slightly damaged, but it's going to be okay. And he's fine. He's out of the hospital, and he's loving life right now.
That's great. That's great.
I know. When you can walk away from a wreck like that, because I'm sure everyone saw the picture, you're lucky.
Yeah, I did see the picture on Blabbermouth. That was pretty horrific.
Amazing.
So Ross, you just recently released your highly anticipated second full-length album entitled Hailstorm through AFM Records, following up your 2008 solo debut, Nu Metal Leader. The reception so far from fans and critics alike seems overwhelmingly positive. Have you enjoyed everybody's reactions and thoughts on the new record thus far?
Yeah. I mean, it's been, the critics are it's especially in Germany, the critics are somewhat savage, but they're good. I mean, most of it's been very, very good. They have a strange habit of these magazines. They want Hailstorm to be reviewed by a guy that just loves death metal, and it's just they have a strange way of doing that. But they balance it out with the guy that loves it. So I don't know. But it's been great.
I thought everyone in Germany liked heavy metal.
They do, but it's so fractionalized, and Germany gets so much of it that I think people are kind of jaded a little bit over there.
So what's the current touring plans for Hailstorm? Do you expect to hit markets both in the U.S. and overseas for the new album?
Well, we hope. We've got a whole bunch of offers right now, and you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, whole bunch of offers, and we're culling together all the stuff and putting things together. We want to do the good shows, hit the most people that we can, which is the plan. South America is beckoning this band. The reaction to us in South America has been unbelievably great.
I can only imagine, yeah.
Unbelievably great.
So, are you looking to get on like a package tour, or maybe headlining?
Well, we'd love to get on a package tour, but there are not that many around. There's a few offers out there, and but we're going to be, we've got a whole bunch of festivals. We're going to play this one, Monsters of Gods of Rock in Czech Republic this summer.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's 25,000 people. What else do we got? A whole bunch of stuff in Sweden, a bunch of stuff. So I really can't say now until we sign the deals.
So tell me about how the lineup for the Ross the Boss Band originally took shape. Where did you find these guys, and how long did it take to find the key players you were looking for with this band?
Yeah, it's a great story. I think I've told it a bunch of times. Right after the Manowar Earthshaker thing that we all, reunited and played all this stuff, and I played like one song or two songs and then battle hymns, and my friend Oliver Weinsheimer, who's the promoter for this festival called Keep It True.
Uh-huh.
You might have heard of that festival.
I have.
The Keep It True Festival?
Yeah, my buddies Hyrax played over there, and
Hyrax, right. They've done it, yeah. So, Oliver goes, listen, we love you, and we love the old Manowar stuff, and most everybody loves it, and but you didn't play enough there at Earthshaker. How about doing a night of old Manowar at the Keep It True? And I said, it's a great idea, brother, but, I do not have a group to play with. He goes, you need a group, yeah, and especially we need a singer. And so a day later or something, you're not going to believe it, I found this band for you. It's perfect for you. These guys had a cover band called Men of War. There was this Manowar tribute thing that they put together as a goof.
Yeah.
Just to do it, just to play some shows, go out there. And they sent me the tape, and I listened, and I was floored. I thought I was listening to myself. I had to go back and check it. They said, no, that's not me. So I go, okay, that sounds great, let's do it. So they, Oliver called Karsten and said, Karsten, we got one more gig for you to play. He goes, no, we're not doing this anymore. We have our own band every night. We're working on a new record, blah, blah, blah. We just did that as a goof. He goes, you have one more gig to play with a new guitar player. And Karsten goes, well, who's that guitar player? And he goes, well, it's Ross the Boss. And he goes, well, I think we're going to play the gig. I think we're going to play. So, he got the plane ticket. I went over. It's Southwest Germany. They live in a city called Kaiserslautern. And we had 2 rehearsals. And then we found ourselves in front of 1,500 people.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah. So from there, that was 2006, I think. And April 2006, and we got offered a bunch of shows. Italy, Greece, Moscow. We played everywhere. Played a bunch of stuff, festivals, blah, 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 blah. And I said to them, guys, I just don't want to play these old Manowar songs. I mean, I like them, but it's not me. I release new music all the time, if you know me. So, they go, yeah, okay. So we stopped into a studio, and I laid down the basis of 2 songs, and I said, I'm leaving. Take the songs and record them, and let's go. Let's see what we get. So what I laid down was the basis of We Will Kill, and I got the right. And 4 months later, we had a record deal.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it was really fast. So that was 2007. So in 3 years, we've released 2 records, which I am so proud of. And I'm saying, this is a band. Bands have to release music,
Yeah.
You got to release music. I mean, what are you if you're not releasing music? I mean,
yeah, not a band if you're not releasing music.
We don't. I'm not looking at the past. And no one can tell that and say that about me.
You're a busy guy.
For the metal, all for the future.
So here's a mysterious question regarding the last 2 albums. Both Hellstorm and its predecessor, New Metal Leader, begin with a mysterious 3-letter acronym instrumental such as IAG or ILH. What's the significance of those acronyms?
You want to know what they mean?
Yeah.
Well, the first one, ILH, is Infinite Lost Horizons, and IAG is Immortal Adoring Gods.
Cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about the song Crom that appears as track 6 on Hailstorm, and the possibility that this track is some kind of an ode to the writings of Conan the Barbarian author Robert E. Howard. Would you like to address that, Ross?
No, well, Patrick wrote the lyrics. I think he really took a bit from Conan from that, of course. Yeah, he definitely took it from Conan, for sure.
It's
you
all.
Like the tune? Did you like it?
Oh, I love it. I love the whole album.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
It's really distinctly you. It's. I get the same feeling from the stuff you're doing with the Ross the Boss Band. Is like your old stuff with Manowar. It's so fucking right on, man. It's so good to hear you play metal again.
I got to tell you something. It's a joy to play music. It's an honor to play it. I feel that I've been lucky in my career, and I'm also lucky to have met these guys. I consider these guys my soulmates, and it's really a pleasure to play, And the band, even though it has my name on it, which I objected to in the beginning, and it's still a little bit uneasy with it. The thing about it is that it's a democracy. Our band, it's 4 guys together. It's not one guy just calling all the shots like some other band that I was in. After a while, this band is really four guys doing their thing, and we couldn't have done these records like this, and gotten to the place where we are so fast without that.
Yeah.
You know, it's Patrick writes the lyrics. Karsten is a brilliant, really brilliant songwriter. Karsten wrote the music to Dead Man's Curve, Crom, Behold the Kingdom, Empire's Anthem. You know, Patrick wrote Among the Ruins. I wrote some of that. I wrote most of the others. I wrote all the other songs. You know, what can I say? Mopsy is the furnace of the band. I mean, the German hammer on drums, and his grooves and his. I mean, you know, it just wouldn't be without him. I mean, you know, and the parts and the stops and the, you know.
Yeah.
And they would push me, you know. Sometimes if they hear, if I'm sending the beauty of the internet recording like this, I was in New York, they're in Southwest Germany. I'm sending them. I'm doing a thing in the evening here at my studio, and I'm sending them the track right as soon as I do it. We send it off to them. Okay? So I'm going to hear their opinion by the time I wake up the next morning.
That is awesome.
And the good part about it is, if they didn't like it, they told me.
Really?
And I was glad to hear it. You know? And I was glad to hear it. And like on the first album, I did all my solos at Tarek's studio, Tarek Magri from Majesty Metal Force. You know, the traditional way. You know, go to the studio, do your solos.
Yeah.
On New Metal Leader. But this way, I really took time, listened, and if I had to do a redo, I did a redo, which was great. You know, and I'm really happy with my work on this on Hailstorm. I really think it's pretty good. To tell you the truth.
So I'm curious, as a band that pretty much idolizes you. I mean, you say that they played in a Manowar cover band beforehand. How did they approach pushing you, saying, "Do this over," or, you know, "You can do better"?
Repeat the question.
Repeat the question?
Yeah, it kind of broke up.
Yeah, for a band that idolized you, you know, they were a Manowar cover band. You talk about these guys pushing you sometimes, saying, "Do this over." Or how do they approach that? You know.
Well, because we had been together for a while already. It wasn't like the first album. They had the onions to tell me, listen, I have another idea. What Patrick said. Patrick wrote the lyrics, he had the melody in his head, and they were looking for something else, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
I was so happy with that. I mean, you know, I want to be pushed. I want to be like that. You know, it's like maybe there's another door I had to go into. You know, and that's the way music should be. You know, and guys telling each other what they think. You know, I told the same thing to Patrick or Carl. Let's do this over. Try this. Why don't you try that? Why don't we try this? If a band can't say that to each other, what good is it?
Yeah, definitely.
What a sham. It's not a band.
So,
you know?
So Ross, tell me, do any of the tracks stand out as being favorites on the new record for you? I know that's a difficult question.
New favorite tracks on this record?
Uh-huh.
You know what? I got to tell you something. I don't have any. Right now, I'm listening to. I'm really digging "Great God Glorious."
Yeah.
The instrumental track. I think that's. Man, I really get uplifted when I listen to that.
It's epic. Really epic.
I really get uplifted when I listen to that.
So, tell me about how it's been working with AFM Records so far. Do you feel like they're getting the word out for you guys accordingly?
They're doing as much as they could possibly do in today's music business and business client. I have to tell you.
Uh-huh.
You know, the music business has changed. The record companies aren't banks anymore like they used to be. And I think they're doing a pretty damn good job. I mean, they're very loyal people. They're very supportive. They're just not a bank like it used to be.
Yeah, you think you'll stick with them for the next release?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll be with them. Yeah, we'll see. You know, things change.
So, going back a couple years, Ross, tell me what it was like performing again with your metal brothers in Manowar at the Magic Circle. What was that like for you?
That was an interesting experience. I had, we had to do that rehearsal up in Western New York. Very interesting, be around the whole thing again. It was fun. It was actually fun to do it that whole weekend.
Had you guys?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people go, "You got to go back to Manowar. You got to go back." I said, you know what? I did my thing.
Yeah.
Those 6 albums, I don't think could be topped ever.
No, of course not. Had you kept in touch with the guys over the years?
Go ahead.
Had you kept in touch with the guys over the years?
Well, the only guy I kept in touch with was Scott.
Uh-huh.
Really. Joe I don't really talk to. Eric I don't talk to. But Scott Columbus I do talk to. So, and it was great to have him play with us, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, it was good to see him back on the drums, playing a real set of drums. He's cool. He's fun to be with, I gotta tell you. You know.
So what was the actual performance like? How did that feel for you to be on stage with them performing all those old tunes?
Manowar?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I just stopped. I just left the band and it was just 1988. You know, it was just, interesting.
And what are your thoughts on Manowar's recent decision to re-record the Battle Hymns record?
I'll have to have a no comment.
Okay.
No comment.
You know, not that much is known about your split from Manowar after the Kings of Metal album and subsequently leaving some giant shoes to fill. Without opening any old wounds, would you be comfortable talking about when and why you originally left?
I could say. I mean, you know, I tell people. The thing was, I was pretty much dismissed from the band. You know, there was problems festering. You know, when you're married to a band, married to the whole thing, there tend to be stress and disagreements within any organization. But it was really nothing to make me leave the band.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some growing pains and some disagreements, but I guess Joey saw it another way.
So after the split with Manowar, I know you spent quite a few years recording and touring the globe with a number of bands, including the Dictators, Manitoba's Wild Kingdom, and the Brain Surgeons. How would you describe these bands to our readers, and do you still plan to work with any of these groups in the future?
Well, I would suggest checking out the Dictators. Of course, we had our work that we did in the 70s, and then Manitoba's Wild Kingdom came in 1990. Right after I left Manowar, I did. It was alleged that I had left Manowar to play blues, but unfortunately, Manitoba's Wild Kingdom was there, which is a total metal album. So that thing was just shut down. Manitoba's Wild Kingdom is a great record, metal record. The Dictators started recording again. We recorded a studio album, great record called DFFD, which means Dictators Forever Dictators, beautiful record. Then we did a live record, Viva Dictators, and then we put out our demos and rarities thing called the Everyday Saturday. So we had a lot of stuff come out. Plus, I did, after Manitoba's Wild Kingdom, I had a band called Heyday and the Spinatras. We had record deals and put out those records, and Heyday was more of like a blues rock record. Spinatras was kind of like the Ramones meet Cheap Trick. Right? And so pretty much I've been pretty busy.
Now, as an old school heavy metal guitar pioneer, it's refreshing to hear how contemporary in production, yet traditional in feel your new music comes across. Do you still keep up with what's current in today's metal circles, Ross? Are there any bands that blow you away?
I got to tell you something. I don't have, even if I wanted to, I don't have the time to listen to new music. There are tons of new good bands out there, and I've heard things from folks which sound very good. But to be honest with you, I just don't have the time to listen to music. To sit down and get this record and go into it, and because I have to produce bands, and I'm working with new bands, and I just don't have time to know what's out there. Well, it's the top 10, or I heard Exceptional record, which is of course I would listen to that.
Yeah, excellent record.
I liked it. I know the singer, so I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, of course, but I don't have time to really to be a CD file.
So, going even further back in time, Ross, who would you count among your original influences? Who were the bands that inspired you to pick up a six string?
Very good question. when I started playing, I would have to say it was B.B. King and Albert King, Muddy Waters, Elmore James, Robert Johnson, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, of course, Jimi Hendrix, so many good, Tony Iommi, Cast a Giant Shadow, My Way, Leslie West. You know, I really do love Joe Satriani. Doesn't influence me, but Satriani is great. Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult. So many great guys. The guys from Matthias Jansen, the Scorpions. These are just guys that I love. The early blues guys is what really started me on my trek. Leslie West. Great. So many guys.
So this past May, the heavy metal world lost one of its most talented and revered songwriters and performers with the passing of the immortal Ronnie James Dio. I know Dio played a large role in the formation of Manowar. Talk about that and tell me how you will always remember Ronnie as both an artist and a friend.
That's a good question. It's really a sad thing. Ronnie Dio was really, I mean, picture the situation. I'm in this band Shakin' Street, right?
Right.
And we're just like these, you know, me, right out of the Dictators. I'm still very, very young. And I'm in this band Shakin' Street, right? And we have the same manager as Black Sabbath. And his name was Sandy Pearlman. He tells me, Russ, you're going to open for Black Sabbath. I just became their manager. I go, wow. I'm not kidding, Sandy. Wow. My idols. He goes, yep, you're going to open for them in England and in North America. They're going to do the Black and Blue tour with Blue Oyster Cult, Black Sabbath, and you're going to open the whole thing. I go, whoa. I go, okay. So we're in England, right? We're in England.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty basically shitting my pants. Or, you know, it's like this. We did the first date, which was really great. Then the second date, I'm there backstage, and all of a sudden, Ronnie Dio comes up to me, and I'm going, humming. He goes, hi, Ross. I go, hello, Ronnie. How you doing? He goes, I just want to tell you what a big fan I am of the Dictators and the New York rock scene and CBGBs, and I know everything that you've ever done, and I'm a big fan. And I'm like, I'm standing there, my jaw open. I'm like, here's this guy from, you know, Rainbow, and oh my gosh, he's the lead singer of Black Sabbath now.
Yeah.
And he's like telling me, you know, he's a fan of mine.
Did you sleep that night?
I'm like, oh my God. He's like, I can't believe he's playing it. I mean, I go, Ronnie, I just want to thank you. You know, just so nice of you. Thank you. Everything's great. I mean, I love you. You know, it's like, what do I say? I mean, you know, what do I come back after that? You know?
Yeah.
But he was so gracious and so nice every single time. And such a gentleman and such class. I just can't even tell you. I mean, it's just really, it's like, it was an example to me of how to be. You know, just you couldn't believe it. And that the voice that came out of that guy was just, it was like, wow, it was just like amazing. It was like a gift from God. It was just you know, and he goes to me, well, I got to tell you something. I got this guy on our tour, on our crew, who's working with, the guy that does our equipment. His name is Doc, and his friend, his name is Joey DeMeo. And I think he plays bass, and I think you should go check out each other, you know?
Yeah.
So he introduces me to Joey, and we started talking, and we have, you know, we found out we had very similar, you know, similar things in you know, that we liked, and push came to shove, blah, 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 where Black Sabbath is on stage, and we're blasting in their dressing rooms through their amps, through their warm-up amps.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that's where Manowar was born. It was actually at Newcastle City Hall in Newcastle. We met on English ground in a backstage room. We heard the sound, and that's where Manowar was born.
Born to live forevermore.
But Ronnie Dio was definitely the man that introduced me to Joey, and that's how the whole thing started. And he's just so sorely missed. I really miss him, and you know, everyone does. And you know, what can you say? It was just, he was a great one for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Well, Ross, I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to talk metal with me. Before we wrap this up, do you have any last words for your fans at home?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I want to thank everybody for your support of us and Hailstorm, our record, and especially heavy metal in general. And I want everybody to support, not to forget the young bands that are out there that need your help. It's even harder for young bands nowadays. And just stay who you are, you guys, and because you're the best, and we couldn't do it without you. And look forward to come see us when we play. Just come out and see us because you love it, guaranteed.